Hello everybody. In this video I am talking about controlling Cubase with Novation 61 SL MkII. In previous several videos I told you that this is my favorite controller and it is the best controller that exists because you can control software and hardware. I showed you how you can control hardware when I was controlling Catron SD90, and in this video I want to show you how you can control software. Now let us start. Now I have in front of me Novation 61 SL MkII, and you can see screen of the Cubase. That is my Cubase project. On this project screen you can see channels, you can see tracks. And I will show you now how you can control those tracks and those channels with Novation. Let us start from this screen. It is very clear, beautiful screen, and you can see all the names of your tracks on this screen, very visible. So first track is drums, then kick, snare, toms. So now I'll show you where is kick and snare because I divided my drums, kick, snare, toms. So I have several virtual instruments here. I'm using them and I can see everything here on this screen. So now if I can at the same time control 8 channels or 8 tracks. If I scroll down, now I'm getting additional 8 and additional 8, and whatever number of the tracks I have in my project, I can control them. I can just scroll up and scroll down. Now in this first section I'm controlling part where I can solo instrument. For example, kick. If I press kick, as you can see here, it is solo. Now I'll move this just down to this acoustic guitar. Okay, but I will disengage that button. When I press solo on this part, you can see on screen of the Cubase that is solo, and you can see that this button is red, and on the screen of controller it says that solo is on. Now solo is off. Now for a moment let me close this section and let us focus on this acoustic guitar. So that is track number 9. So I have to go to the next group of the tracks, and that is that acoustic guitar here. I can see acoustic guitar. If I press solo, solo. Now this is to control send effects. This row is to control recording. If I press recording, recording is engaged. If I press several recordings button, I can see which track is engaged here. All those buttons are red. I can see on my screen it says on, and as well in Cubase you can see them, they are engaged, ready to record. Now my transport bar is engaged as well. Now if I want to record, for example, there is nothing recorded on this English horn part, so let me just go and leave that English horn part. And now if I want to record, I will just hit record button and it is starting song, and you can see activity. I will stop, I will go back, and if I don't want, I will erase that part. So that is to engaging record and starting recording process. Now we will just jump for now in this transport bar. When is that button engaged transport, then we can scroll forward, scroll back, we can press play. As you can see, movement and song is playing. Now when we press stop, it is stop. When you press stop again, it will go to the beginning. Okay, sometimes I'm talking directly to the microphone, sometimes I'm not talking directly. That's why this sound is changing, what you can hear, because microphone is fixed, as you can see, is there behind all those things. Hi, camera, microphone, so everything is there. Now in this section here I can control panning, but to see that section I will just go to mix windows. Let me repeat this. There, as you can see, this part where is acoustic guitar, solo, record, pan. As you can see, I can pan instruments. I can change volume, mix volume. I can mute instrument. I can mute. I can control transport. So in this part is presently user part, I didn't program that, but you can program, for example, if you want to delete something, if you want to do some other functionality that you want to use, you can program it and use it in user section. So look at here, there's user section. If you switch to user section, FX section, instrument section, mixer section, we'll talk about that as well. Now I will show you this here. If you press view, you will be able to call software where you can edit all functionality by yourself. If you want to change something, then you can edit it here, and you can save, and you can call that mapping, edited mapping, and then you can continue with whatever functionality you want to have with this controller. Now I will close that button. So it is actually calling software for editing. Cool stuff. And software for learning functionality. You can learn functions and then assign function that you want to have. You can learn button, assign function, save it, and whenever you call it, it will be called. Now let me show you something else. Beside all of that control, you can control plugins. Yes, you can control plugins on very easy way. Now let me go to my Windows here for a moment, OBS, and I want to move this window on this side, and I will move this window just here because I want to free that space that you can see what I am doing here. Now let us say on this channel where is my microphone, if I want to call one of those plugins, look at what is going to happen here on my controller. It will switch from mix mode to FX mode automatically. Now look at that. Did you see? I open plugin and automatically it switched to that mode. And now in that mode, it says that this row doesn't have any functionality, but this row here is for control plugins. Depends on how much functions do we have, and this row is for control plugins. That one and that one. Now, and depends on how many functions we can control, we have so much controls. Let me go back here. Look, if I'm moving this, look at what is happening on my plugin. So let me extremely put it down, and let me this put up, and let me choose here, for example, frequency, let us say this one. And now, for example, if I'm satisfied with this, and I'm closing this plugin. Okay, that was plugin here, that is on this position. Where's my microphone? It stays like this. But now, if I call any another plugin, same plugin, look at same plugin on strings. Look at that setting. It is not the same setting. Now I'm controlling this plugin. It is same plugin, actually same company, but on another channel. And now, this plugin, for example, I am controlling like this. Okay, let us say I'm just using drastic changes just to show you. Look at everything is all right. Everything is all right. I'll close this. Now let us go back to this plugin. Look at whatever I did by the time this plugin was opened, what I did on this controller, it stays. And now that plugin here, that I just changed everything to the right, it stays to the right. So now there, my friends, you can see that with this controller, you can control software, you can control plugins, you can control sound effects, recording, mute, solo. You can have your user functionality, whatever you put there. You have several things. You just go here on view, you choose one of those button, for example, that is that one. Now if you want to control, you press learn and automatically say engage learn, and now you choose just function that you want to control with this, and it is asking what do you want to control. You can control mixer, then you have other functionality, you can control FX, you can control virtual instrument, you can control users. So whatever you want to control, you can control. It says now user, and now you just control. Okay, that was everything. Hopefully you did understand. So you can do all this with Novation 61 SL MK2. And beside of that, you can control hardware at the same time. Novation is controller is connected through USB connection and with computer, and I am controlling software. But if I press button automat map switch, now I'm controlling hardware with a regular MIDI cable to my Catron SD90, and now I am controlling functionality of SD90. At the same time, functionality of SD90 or functionality of the Cubase. And everything related to SD90, I can do programming here directly on this Novation without any computer, without any additional software. But I can use software as well. That's why I like this, and I bought same thing without keys. It is called Novation Zero because it doesn't have keys, 0 keys. SL MK2, 61 keys, 49 keys. So this series is the best series of MIDI controller that exists on planet, and that it will allow you to control everything, third-party instruments, third-party plugins, everything. So if you buy Contact, then you can control Contact stuff. It is great keyboard. It is for Contact. But you cannot control hardware. You cannot memorize anything on it. You just have keys and nothing else for hardware. But here you have total control of hardware, total control of software. And it is the best, absolutely the best keyboard. That new keyboard, Novation 61 SL, it has similar functionality, but you cannot do programming, hardware programming, directly on Novation 61 SL MK3. And they screwed up with this very much. They should, soon as it's possible, give us opportunity. That's why I didn't buy that new model SL MK3. It has some nice features, but it doesn't have features that I need. I want to control software and hardware, and I want to control hardware with possibility to programming directly here on the controller. So there is one controller presently that is working on the same way like this one. Is again controller from Novation, but that controller from Novation, let me show you, is called Novation Impulse. Novation okay, so that is Novation Impulse. If I go to Novation Music, yeah, that is that. And I have this controller as well. I have this controller in Bosnia. When I go over there, I don't want to bring those controllers, so I'm using that controller. It has possibility to control software and hardware, just it has a little bit less functionality directly on the controller. Look at those buttons. There is not number of the buttons what you can find here. But look at here, 8, 16, and 16. 32 buttons where you can memorize sounds of different hardwares, and you can say if you want to control, for example, sometimes I want to control Roland, some Integra 7, sometimes Motive X Rack, XS, sometimes I want to control Catron. So I can control several different hardwares and of course several different software. What you can do on MK3 version, MK2 version, you can control hardwares, but you have to program everything through computer. So, and sometimes I just want to adjust something, and I don't have computer, and I don't want to depend on computer. So that's why I prefer this MK2 series, the best series. And my message to Novation: please give us same possibility that we have on MK2. Then we will buy new keyboard. If not, then we have to. Yeah, you have this one, of course. You have this one, this model, but this model doesn't have functionality like this model. This model is the best. Even new model doesn't have so much functionality to control hardware. There is no so much buttons to control hardware like on this one. So that is something that I want to keep, and I am looking to buy another one like those if is there any possibility to buy, but I cannot find it anywhere. And I want to buy something that is in good shape. So thank you very much for watching this video. Let me close this. And have a great day and see you in my next video.